Seth, there was a monumental thing that happened this year
Really?
in Pistons history.
Wow.
It has been 15 years since the Detroit Pistons have won a playoff game.
Wow. Now
I know
that
what
is
you're
something.
thinking in the comments. You mean like a series, right? Like, 'cause obviously they didn't win in 2018. No, I mean
Wow.
a game in a series.
Very
It has
interesting.
been 15 years since that has
Hmm.
happened. So, in honor of this
Uh-huh.
great achievement,
Of
I
course.
have created 15 things that were a thing 15 years ago.
Very nice.
We need some music here. We need something
Wow.
to set the
Set the
what is it?
mood.
Acoustic cinema? What does this sound like? Ooh.
I
I
think
kinda
that's
like
what we
this.
go with
I
because
kinda like this.
let's be
It's
honest,
like
you might start
ancient
crying
history.
you might
Yeah.
start crying on camera too.
Yeah, this
and
is great.
I
So
think it's good.
15 years ago,
Uh-huh.
so first things first, I was about 8 years old. Seth was not born at this point.
Well,
He was.
depending on who you ask.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I put here I was in second grade, which was true in the first half, right? Because like school year was ending, and that's probably when the playoffs were happening. Also,
Okay.
just as far as in case anybody wants to be a big fact checking nerd, no, I didn't totally like. I don't know if these things happened before the Pistons won their game or after. Like I just sort of did things that were 15 years ago. I just Googled 2008
Don't
and
be
then like looked at things on Wikipedia and then was like, oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So 2008, Barack Obama would win the presidency, defeating John McCain that year,
Correct.
and would be the Time Person of the Year.
Uh-huh.
That was his first term, by the way, for all the
Yes.
youngins, by the way. That
Yes.
was his first term.
That'd be term number one.
The top 3 grossing films. This is really going to be unfortunate. The Dark Knight,
That's a great movie.
fantastic movie. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull,
Okay. Not as good.
not a
but,
great movie.
you know.
And Kung Fu Panda.
Wow, that's a great movie.
15 years ago. Kung Fu
crazy.
Panda was in theaters when the Pistons last won a playoff game.
That's insane.
I mean, I don't know if that totally lines up, but it was
still.
that year Kung Fu Panda came out.
Wow. That's crazy.
This one is going to actually hurt
Okay.
physically. Some of the notable video game releases of that year.
Uh-oh.
Grand Theft Auto 4. Not 5. 4.
4. Wow.
BioShock.
Oh.
No, not BioShock 3. Not Infinite. Not 2.
J-
BioShock. The first one.
Wow.
And this one hurt on levels I cannot express. Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
Really?
15 years ago.
Wow.
The Nintendo Wii.
Yeah. That's insane.
Absolute pain.
Wow.
Some of the other things, some notable TV show releases. So I did this not based on like how good the shows were, but just shows that I remember watching or I remember being on.
Yeah.
This is totally, I have like just an assortment of lists. So we have Bakugan Battle Brawlers.
Okay.
So this was like a anime that was
Right.
on like Cartoon Network.
Yep.
For people who don't know what Bakugan is, it was like these little like magnetic. Do you even know what Bakugan is?
Yeah, I had them growing up.
Okay. Like
Yeah.
there were these little magnet like spheres or like shapes or
Yeah.
whatever, and you put them on these magnet cards, and they'd like be like
Pop
little
out.
transformers.
Yeah.
There was apparently a game involved, and there was the
There was.
TV show.
Mhm.
I never really watched the TV show. Did you watch the TV show?
Mm-mm. I played the game though.
I have no idea. How do you play the game? I just remember,
remember.
we would be in summer camp and just like throw them on the thing, and then I don't know, the dragon wins because that's what happens in the TV show.
Yeah, I don't even remember how you play the game. I just remember playing it in elementary school.
We were a Yu-Gi-Oh family, and by Yu-Gi-Oh
yes.
family I mean me.
Yeah.
And my brother for a little bit.
But,
Ben 10 Alien Force.
That's a good
So this
show.
was not the original Ben 10 with little kid Ben.
Yeah.
This was like time skip Ben. But like the
Right.
first one, not like there were several. This
Yes.
was the first like time skip one, I guess.
Okay.
1,000 Ways to Die. Have you ever heard of the show?
No.
Okay, so 1,000 Ways to Die was on Spike. It was basically this, honestly, kind of like pseudo masochistic.
Oh.
Like it was like you would basically like there would be these stories of like people who have died in really crazy ways. So like there
Okay.
was a story of like someone who so this one is this is gonna be demonetized and or embarrassed in the future when someone inevitably finds this footage.
Correct.
So there was an episode where I don't even know if I really want to say this. Whatever, we're already too deep in.
It doesn't
There was
matter.
an episode where there was a let's try to use our words carefully. There was there was a group of adult females, and these females, they were running a car wash.
Yeah.
And these females, they didn't really have like a normal occupation,
Sure.
right? Like they were like like dancers, like kind of like dancers of a certain persuasion
Style.
we'll say.
Yeah.
So these ladies,
Sure.
they did we just hit a home run? Andy Ibanez just hit a home run. What? Oh, we're losing 7-4. Well, now 7-5. Fantastic.
well.
Anyways, so these ladies, we're really getting into this. These ladies were running a car wash or whatever, and some, this is in the episode. I don't know how real this was exactly, but in the episode, this gentleman with a large car, like he was like, oh, why don't you wash my car, ladies? And they're, doing things, and they're, some water's getting, because when you wash a car, some water gets on you, and I guess they were holding hands at some point. I don't really know what the point of that was, but they were holding hands at some point, and some sort of electrical wire fell into the water, and it electrocuted all of them and killed them instantly.
Wow. That sounds like a real doozy of a show right there.
That was one episode of the show.
Wow.
And it's a wonder how I remember that particular episode.
I'm not going to comment on that.
But that is the one episode I remember. I'm sure if people are in the comments of this because this event inevitably will be posted as a clip, post your favorite 1000 Ways to Die episode. Or don't. I honestly would prefer you don't, but if I can't control you, okay?
Yeah.
You can do what you please.
It's a free country.
Yeah. Anyways, other notable shows.
Yes.
The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. Do you remember this show?
No.
The cartoon?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, it was like this. I mean, it was a cartoon with like this little kid. He lived on like a pier, essentially, and there was like kind of these wacky characters. The animation was really odd. You had him. He was living in a whale, and the whale was like his mom, I guess, essentially.
Interesting.
And he's like tagging along with this like pirate guy. And it's just like they just go into these crazy weird adventures, and there's all these crazy characters. It's really an odd show. It was in that same era of Cartoon Network with like Chowder. I don't know if you remember that show. It's like that
Chowder.
era of like where they were just like, I don't know what to do. We're just literally anything as long as it's weird. And so that was that era. This one also got me. Wipeout.
Oh.
That came out in 2008. The original Wipeout. There's still, I think, a Wipeout now, but it's probably terrible and totally unfunny.
Probably.
But back in the day, this show was hilarious. I used to watch it with my dad, because I think it was on, like, Sunday evenings or maybe Friday. It was some day where, I guess it was on in the summer at that point, and we were able to watch it. And it was just, it was basically, for people who don't know what Wipeout is, it's basically just obstacle course where you have these grown adults try to maneuver it, and inevitably most of them just fail. And the idea is like if you win, you get like I don't know $1 million. I don't know how much money.
It's something like that.
It wasn't $1 million, but it was enough money to where you could get enough people to like do it. And one of the infamous obstacles were these red rubber balls essentially, and all you got to do is run across them. And I don't think I ever saw. I think maybe 1 or 2 people got through it.
Yeah.
Like it was always just like they'd get to like past like 2, and then they just wipe out.
And then they wipe out.
And I don't know how like scripted it was in any way.
Yeah.
But, like
hard to say.
I don't know. It was a fun show. Go watch old Wipeout clips.
Exactly.
And the last one I have here on the list is The Sweet Life on Deck, which was the sequel series to Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, where they were on the cruise ship. I watched that a lot as a kid, so it's like, oh, great, good to know. Some of the highest charted singles of that year, Whatever You Like by T.I., You know, the You Can Have Whatever You Like, that song.
Yep.
And Low by Flo Rida and T-Pain.
That is an old song.
Yeah, it is.
That's, wow.
Yeah, that was the first time we were greeted with the term apple bottom jeans.
And boots with the fur.
And boots with the fur. That is.
Yeah.
Some other things, some of the Apple products of that time, the iPod Touch and the MacBook.
I had one of those. Yeah, I had an
MacBook
iPod
Air,
Touch.
I should say. So those were some of the big sellers in 2008 for Apple there.
Yeah.
We also have, obviously, because it's a sports show, we got to run some sports stuff.
course.
So that year would be the infamous year for the Detroit Lions. They would go 0-16 with Dan Orlovsky as their starting quarterback for, I think, most of the games. They had a few starting quarterbacks, obviously. But they would go 0-16 that year. And then that following graph would get Matthew Stafford and the rest of his game.
Correct.
The Detroit Red Wings would win the Stanley Cup that year.
Very
The
nice.
last one to date, helped by Captain Nicholas Lindstrom, one of the great defensemen of all time. This one was very shocking. Miguel Cabrera has his first season with the Tigers.
Really?
Yeah, he was traded, obviously, to the Tigers from the Florida Marlins, then the Florida Marlins.
Well, yeah.
And obviously, his career is what it is. One of the all-time great power hitters. Won the Triple Crown in 2012. And he's up to bat right now. I think. Did he just get hit by a pitch? No, he didn't. He just just took a ball. But he's up to bat right now. So it's ironic, right? 15 years, and now he's in his last season.
Wow.
Crazy.
Thanks, Miggy.
Yeah. And your San Diego Chargers, then San Diego Chargers, they would have an 8-8 record that year and win their division under quarterback Phillip Rivers, who was in his 5th year with the Chargers.
Yep.
I just want to get your reaction. You are winning that division with an 8-8 record. That could literally never happen now. It's not like
impossible.
Not in that division now. I mean, like,
no.
You wouldn't get a wild card. Oh, Miggy just hit a double. Look at Miggy. He's on a roll.
Good job, Miggy.
Score. It's about to be a 1-run ball game. Throw to the play, not in time. Oh man, we got a ball game. 7-6 Rangers on top, and the Tigers are knocking on the door. I can't believe this is such a high-scoring game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Miggy was due for actually getting hits. It's amazing.
Yeah, maybe. Well.
This one is also very concerning.
Okay.
So, little MSU stuff.
Ooh.
Kirk Cousins was on MSU's roster.
Of course.
Though at that point he was sitting behind Brian Hoyer. The Spartans that year would finish with a 9-4 record under head coach Mark D'Antonio. Brian Hoyer, I think, is still in the league.
Okay.
I think he started a few games with the Patriots last year.
That sounds right, actually.
I think he did.
You're correct about that.
I don't know if any team has re-signed him. I don't know what the deal is right now, but
yeah,
as stands, both those guys still in the league.
There.
Obviously, Kirk Cousins was not the MSU legend that he is now.
Correct.
Because he didn't really start many games.
Yep.
I don't even know if he did start any games, but yeah, Kirk Cousins was at MSU last time the Pistons won a playoff game. So.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This one is also very sad. MSU basketball would win the Big Ten that year. And this would be the 2008-2009 season. So
correct.
Like that following basketball season.
Right.
Do you know who was on that roster?
Why don't you tell me?
Draymond Green was on that roster. Yep. They would have a 31-7 record and lose the national championship that year to the University of North Carolina.
Yes.
I don't know who's on that team. I didn't look that up. Probably somebody who's notable. The MLB MVPs that year, Albert Pujols from the National League, then on the St. Louis Cardinals, and Dustin Pedroia from the Boston Red Sox. Pujols last year just had his final season with the Cardinals, actually.
Yeah.
He played for a few teams at that point, but an Angels legend. Do you have a lot of LA Angels fans back at home?
I do, yeah.
Do they have what's their opinion on one Albert Pujols? I can't imagine they're big fans.
Probably not. Have you seen the clip of the announcer saying Pujols is retarded, but he meant to say retired?
Yeah, Pujols is retarded. We need to get that as a drop.
Pujols is retarded. Yeah,
Retired.
That's probably how most Angels fans think now.
That's probably right.
Yeah.
And then finally, the NFL MVP that year was Peyton Manning. Obviously retired at this
Yes.
point. But that was 15 years ago today
Wow.
in Pistons lore. So,
How very nice.
yeah, I thought that was nice.
What a nice little segment.
Yeah. I hate it here. I truly
Thank
hate it
you,
here.
the city of Detroit and the
I
state of
tr-
Michigan.
I truly hate it here.
Yeah.